My name is David Henney. Just had a child on February 26th, 2020. Her name is Shelby Paige Henney. So I always kind of knew that I wanted to have a kid. I didn't know how many, but I always thought of myself as a father. It wasn't something that was a rush. The way I grew up, my dad didn't have me, I think, until he was about almost 40. And my wife's parents as well waited. So it was always a good relationship with me and my wife because we never rushed each other. But both of us always were like, oh yeah, we're going to have something. We didn't know when, but it was going to happen. In May, my wife revealed that she was late and she was pretty confident it was a baby. So I remember coming home, we had like 2 tests because we're overly cautious about everything. She went on both of them and they both came out positive. Then I got a third and I tried it myself and I came out negative. So we did realize that she was pregnant. That was very exciting and I cried and I didn't know what to do with my emotions. About 1 month or 6 weeks into the pregnancy, my wife had what's called a hematoma, which is kind of like having a period, but it's like a mass of tissue. So we thought it was a miscarriage because she was bleeding like crazy, and it was like dark blood. It was like tissue. So it was upsetting. This happened like late at night, midweek in June. So we rushed to the hospital like 1 in the morning, midnight. And it was this long process of like taking blood and doing all this stuff and making sure she was okay. And then they wheelchaired her off to the maternity ward where it was really quiet, and we heard the heartbeat for the first time and the baby was okay. And that was like this insane emotional roller coaster of going from like, all right, we'll try again, it's very upsetting, to go from, thinking that we had lost the baby to then, oh my God, there's the heartbeat. Because we had not gone to the doctor yet. Our first appointment was supposed to be later that week. So that kind of spurred the process along. And we went through this whole 9-month period of being very cautious, being very superstitious and nervous about everything. But then when we got to see the baby grow and all the, 4D, 3D sonograms and all the new tech that you could see the baby's heart, you could see the baby's organs, and then to finally see it delivered and basically plopped onto my wife's chest right after it, I'm right there. It just made all of these anxieties and worries go away. But now, even a week later, I'm on the phone constantly talking about, how was the baby last night? Did she make any weird noises? So it's just, first time parent, everything is like insanely stressful, but it's a good stress. I am the youngest of 3 boys, kind of male-dominated household. My dad, 3 boys, and then my mom. So now it's funny because my oldest brother has 2 girls. My mom got remarried with 2 daughters, so we have 2 stepsisters, and now I have a daughter. We cannot have any new men in our family anymore. So from coming from dominated by men to now dominated by women, it was funny because we were all sure before we knew the sex of the child that it was going to be a man or a boy. My wife was saying that she was carrying as if it was a boy, and then we found the gender reveal and it was a girl, and I was like, oh no, I thought it was going to be a boy. But I'm so glad it's a girl. It just seems so much easier not to have to worry about all the crazy stuff that boys do. I don't think that there's any problem with not having kids, and a lot of my friends don't have children. And I think it's great because you get to so much freedom and there's so much flexibility. But I do think there's a whole different chapter of your life that is unlocked when you have a kid. And I'm only a week into it, and I just feel like my brain waves have shifted and my whole thought process has kind of clicked into a different gear. Not necessarily like evolved or better, but it's just different, and it's kind of cool because everything else in life kind of goes into this different holding pattern. My advice, and it's kind of, don't take advice from me because I don't have any idea what I'm doing right now, but the general advice is just to be there. You don't have to be prepared. As somebody who was always over-preparing and overthinking everything, it was good not to know what was going to happen. My advice to my child right now is, oh God, just work hard. That's all you can do. Everything that's going to happen in the next 50, 70, 80 years, you're going to be able to survive and endure it if you just be yourself, work hard, be diligent, and just continue. Just be present and be there. Everything else will work itself out. There's so much to be said for somebody who actually is present, and I think that's rare. People are way too involved in too many things. So, Shelby Paige Henney, be an active participant, be aware and be present. Even when off fighting in the space wars, which I assume will start in 2025. God bless.